Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Agora CoolCast. My name is Raya. I'm from the Future Now Association from Bulgaria, and today I have with me the whole crew that built up the Agora NextGen game.
Almost the whole crew.
Almost the whole crew, yes.
One person?
We're missing one writer, actually our main writer, but we will interview him separately, and we'll have a separate CoolCast just with Nick.
Yeah.
But in the meantime, we have almost the full team of the Agora NextGen game. Can you all just introduce yourselves and say what part of the team you are?
Hi everyone, I'm Teo. I'm a game designer. I make games for a living. And I also made this game that we call Agora.
Hey everyone, I'm Georgi and I made the coding for the game. Thanks to this amazing team, we created something unique.
Hi, I'm Ali. I'm a project manager for TFN. I helped in writing the project that led to this game and many other things too.
Hi, I'm Nora. I also make games for a living and make pretty things. I worked on the design here for Agora.
I'm Ayo. I did some of the visuals for the socials and did videos for the game.
Yeah. Everyone here has been so amazing. Everyone's been so dedicated to the game. And I think we are all as proud as I am. But maybe I'm the proudest. Because I really see everyone's contribution and it's been amazing. So we have a few questions to cover today in case you're interested in listening to what making an educational game is like. The process, the questions that come into it, the people that come into it. And I think it's going to be a very cool cast. So I'm going to actually start by asking Ali a question. Because we are building this game, but can you talk to us about the origin of the game? Where did it come from?
Yeah, well actually the origin started from a workshop that we did on gamification in Slovakia for another project that had also an element of gamification. Let me just slide in and say it's DigiYouth. So there we had a workshop and some of the participants thought of an election game. And they wrote it up in a piece of paper, had some basic elements of what you can actually see in the game today. That, you would go through the steps of election, get votes, and, come out as the winner of a party. And that's how the parasite started in my head. It just kept going and going. Not parasite, a virus.
Symbiote.
A symbiote.
The seed was planted there.
Exactly, that's a better way. So that's how it started, and I kept thinking about it, and okay, this could actually be something. I don't know many other games that have this element to it, especially for the educational sector. So yeah, it was that's how it started, and then it grew up to a consortium, with more partners that joined in and approved, and here we are today. 2 years plus, actually, since the game inception.
Once we started working on the game, actually, we approached Nora because we have built an educational game before with you. We built Ceteris Paribus, one of my personal favorite video games to play, which is also very educational, but it's about economics. So once we approached you, you also helped us out to find Theo, who became our head game maker in the terms of the Hunger Games.
Yep. First time I heard of this project was Raya and Nora getting me in a cafe, tell me about the project. Ali was also there. And they showed me this different kind of education game where it has you, doing, it was about fake news and had you, being the fake newser. You were the one creating the fake news to try and teach you, how this works and why it's kind of bad, because fake news are kind of bad, and why you don't want to do it. So that's when the idea popped into my head that, this could follow the same structure. We could tell you a story about how you are trying to get elected, and walking you through it, you'd learn about, what politicians do in their campaigning life. So that's how we started, and I've done educational parts of games before, but not to this extent. And educational games are different because usually, games are mostly produce entertainment. And what you want out of the game is just to have fun. Educational games are different because the main focus is not entertainment. The main focus is learning, and entertainment is the medium which brings it to you. Entertainment is there to keep you interested, and entertainment is there to, shine the light on education, but then you're there to learn stuff. So yeah, and working with all these people has been probably the most refreshing video game making experience I've had in a while. And yeah, it's been really awesome to work with you guys and make this little interactive adventure that is Agora.
Yeah.
I have a request for post-production to place a little aww sound.
Aww. We can do it all together, like three.
Aww.
Here you go.
And I'm just gonna leave it in like this.
Don't touch anything.
This could be a good soundbite for the game as well if you're not like in the top 10. Like, oh, you tried.
Yeah, we still have to input like sounds into the game. It's still we can always add more things.
Yeah. Well, we were thinking of the concept. I think we were pretty far away from sounds and from these extra things that we've added. In the last iteration of the game, we added little fun facts to also increase people's understanding of Biscania, of the game, of the world. Do you have any other memories from the starting up? How we came to make this game, how it is now? That I'm looking at you.
I also remember discussing this game that Tom mentioned. I believe it's called Get Bad News.
Yes.
Like, shout out to that game and the makers of the game. It's amazing. And I definitely was interested in the idea of just making something similar, but to actually give people a better idea of how voting works and how elections work and how actually everybody can get into politics. It's not something that you have to be somebody's son or daughter to do it, or you don't have to have like special connections or something. You can literally just decide, hey, I actually have some cool ideas. I want to make some change in my country, in my city even. And it shows you that there is a way to go and there is a way to do it. And it's pretty cool.
Yeah, I love that. By the way, the youngsters who have been playing it have also told me that they found it very empowering as an experience, that they feel a little closer now to the election process, which I find to be extremely rewarding as feedback.
Yeah.
I had a question for you. In the beginning, we kind of set up, for you, Teo. In the beginning, we kind of set up some requirements on what we want the game to be, and this is also how we found Georgi afterwards, because we had already some set of requirements. What was in your mind in terms of what would make this educational game easier for people to come to?
Well, first of all, we started out with an outline of, how basically a structure on how the game would work. I put that in a little PowerPoint, and I basically managed, to click through it to show it to, at the time, Ali, Raya, and Nora. And they, I asked them, do you want me to make this whole myself, or do you want to help me because you probably know more about politics than I do? So they gave me a little bit, we decided on this survey in the beginning, which, asks you how much you know about politics. Then we did a second survey, which is your political core, to tell you what you are in politics. And then, we had the idea of, going through choose your own adventure events and some stats going up and down. So they gave me some content for this, and I read through it, and I thought it was kind of heavy and bogging down. And I remember, putting them together in the meeting, probably either first or second meeting where, I'm showing what I can do now as a game designer. And I told them I hated their ideas, which was awesome. But yeah, the main thing I wanted was, to basically make it as simple as possible, so that we can get people into it basically immediately. We hook them and we, put them in the world, and we let them, take them through a story and have fun. And I wanted there to be as little as possible obstacles for them to hit. Like as little as possible to have things which would make them shut the screen off. Like everything, I went, into every word that requires you to look it up in a dictionary a bit too much. Every word that sounds a bit too alien, I just wanted to get rid of them to help, to help youngsters just get through it, to not have them bounce off. And then I made this little PowerPoint, where I showed Ryan and Ali that I hated their ideas. And then, as a game designer, I have a vision of it. I know what I need to make the game, but I'm not a coder and I'm not an artist, so I can't make it myself. So we asked Nora to draw it, to create the visual assets for it, to draw it for us. And I needed Joro to code it for us. And yeah, from that one starting PowerPoint, which I gave, and us having a few meetings together, at one point it was alive. Thank you, Joro and Nora.
It's alive.
It's alive now, actually.
And it's still alive now, yes.
That PowerPoint you made, it made the process so much easier, because in the past, whenever I've worked on designs, I've been given an outline of what people want to achieve with the product. But this is actually the first time that I've worked with a designer who says, okay, we want this page to have this and this and this, and then I can just go in and be like, oh, okay, I'll place this in this part of the screen, and this is going to be over here, and this is going to be this color. And I could focus more on making it nice and pleasing to the eye, which I guess I never was that great of a UX designer. So the UI part definitely was a lot nicer to work on. So yes, loving the UX. Good job.
I think we need another awe here.
Aww. Less coordinated, but it's okay. And Joro, you came in a little bit later after we had already prepared the outline of the game. What was it like for you to step in?
Yeah, the start I was like, what are these people trying to do? How are they going to educate the youngsters? But clearly, after seeing the PowerPoint presentation, seeing what they have built around that, and seeing Nora's designs, actually, yeah, for the first time, these designs were super, super easy to work with.
Yay!
Somebody built something that's manageable and possible to create, not just artwork that could be set in the game, in home, and seeing that come to life with my code and then testing it really brings a joyful smile on my face, just because I know that people are enjoying playing the game and seeing their results and seeing their political views, learning more about them. And I think it has a really big value to the how people develop their political alignment.
I think another big factor that maybe goes unseen is like how much work was done also before for the content and the context of the game. How many emails were sent, how many documents we went through. A big, as I think Theo called, a big fat Excel with like so many decisions, so many variables there described, and there's like so much content behind what you might see in a very beautiful UI. There's like so much of it, apart from the code, just like context and like what kind of political alignment system we're going to use. About the political questionnaire, that like took like months even to get in a common agreement with everyone. So I think that's a part that I wish us others can see it and like understand. And this is a part that was really important for us to have like a better idea of what we're doing it and like what direction we want to sort of give to the youngsters, and what the topics that we're talking about in the game as well. I mean, we had experts looking into them and saying, okay, yeah, we need to talk about education and welfare and these scandals. I think there was a lot of attention there that was pretty good as well. Quality work.
I'm seeing ideas for like a little infographic with this many lines of text and these many hours spent coding and these many emails being sent around.
Yeah, that'd be pretty cool actually. Like how to create an educational game in Erasmus. Here are the basics. Like, yeah, that's pretty cool.
I because he's not here, I want to make special mention of Nick, because just as Ali said, we have a very chunky Excel with all the events that can occur to you in the game, all mathed out, what gives how much of what. And I wrote them out as a structure first, and I knew kind of how many I think we wanted. And then I got a little bit scared because I thought, okay, we're writing all this, and now I have to come up with all these events and I have to dress them in pretty words. And I can kind of do it, but I don't think it's like one of my leading skills. And then Raya para-dropped Nick onto the project, and he saved my life. Because he came in, he basically created a country for us to work with. And by created, I mean created. Like, this country, it looked so real. It had history before, it had interactions with other countries near it. And it made the whole thing so much easier. Yeah. We basically created a little world. for this game.
Nick created so much lore in the how much there is in the background. I know there's so much text Nick created about the history of Biscania, the geography, the politics, the drama of it. He created so many fun facts for us to add, and I think that also made it so much better, the game.
Yeah, it's all about the Biscania goats. I can just imagine us working in the Biscania franchise for years to come.
Nice. I wanted to ask each of you the same question. What was most important for you in the process of making the game? From your point of view, what was most important for you to achieve in your work on the game?
Well, this might be a bit cheesy, but every time I've made any kind of game, the thing I look forward to is the moment it hits players, and players who are not us here in this podcast, because we know the game inside and out, and we're gonna be either positive about it, or we're gonna be a bit too critical of ourselves. But what you really get the true data once it hits somebody who's never heard of you, and you ask them to try your game. And honestly, guys, the best thing a game designer can ever hear is when a player plays their game and says, "Let's go again." That is the best reward a person can receive after making a game.
Do we all?
Yeah. I really made a small one.
Joe, how about you?
For me, actually, it's just because this is the first time I'm creating and interacting with people that are creating a game. I've done that in high school, but in my professional work, I've never worked on a game. And at this point, I was really, really excited to make it work and to see all the game mechanics and to play with them and see if I can. I was queuing the numbers at the first, so we fixed that at some point. But it was really funny to see that everyone is placing some of the end spectrum of the political end just because I messed up some numbers in the game. At some point, it was really fun. And for me it was really important to make the game as visually pleasing as Nora did it in the designs. So I think we kind of achieved it. There are some things to add, like sounds, we talked about it. But we did a pretty good job.
You've also been so fast with bug squashing. Wow.
Yes. It's really impressive.
Very speedy.
Aww.
Yeah, well, from my point of view, I think it was good that we delivered on what we had to do. Let's say from the project management side, that we kept it a bit vague in the way we made it, so that we leave room to breathe to kind of make what we wanted to do. But it definitely overexceeded every expectation, and actually even thoughts that we had, the multilingual support of it, that was just amazing. There was just added that, and that really transforms this game to a more accessible game for a lot of people, and this is great for the project as well. And for me, another part was the other partners, because we are more game friendly, let's say, in that sense. You have your people here working in the gaming industry, but also you have people that just play games like us, like the rest of us do. But the other partners aren't like that. So it was also an additional success, I think, to everyone involved here, when people that do not usually play games are like, you know what, this is a really cool game and I can play it. For me, that's a very, not a niche market, but a good achievement. People that are academics or professors that, don't usually dabble in this thing. And suddenly they're like, I love it, we're going to play it with more students. I think that's a great achievement in by all indicators.
Yeah.
That is a great achievement.
Yeah.
Wow. I love that. What can I say on my end? It's been very cool working on a project where my creative input has been so valued. Because I know that while you guys have given me so many cool ideas and we've implemented them in the game and they turn out very nice, it's also great when I can I'm like, okay, well, we're gonna go with these colors because I think this is gonna be cool, and I think that it's gonna be nice if we put these little things in the logo and these little things over here, and you guys are like, oh, yeah, wow, that looks great. And I'm like, that's great. I love that you love it. So I really love this freedom of trying to figure out what works well. And it's also important to give yourself like a little box still to work in, because if you don't give yourself a little place to navigate, you're just going to have... completely lost my thought.
What is that box that you put yourself in to work in?
Did you think that if you had no restrictions, you would spiral out and just start doing
Basically,
everything?
yeah, it's important to actually give yourself some restrictions. Even if other people aren't giving you restrictions, you have to give yourself restrictions. You have to give yourself proper deadlines and things like that to actually help you put stuff in a pretty bow, because otherwise you're never going to find time to put the bow on top. So, yeah, that's a little bit weird of an explanation.
You stuck the landing.
Yeah.
We understand you. It's okay.
Good. I hope the listeners actually understand.
Aya, how about you? You haven't been talking much. I want to hear also from you. You've been creating so many Biscania materials, and I love them. Thank you.
No, you're welcome. It's mostly because I came in last. I knew about the project because I work for TFN, so I was very versed with it. But I came in last, and I did a bunch of visuals. You gave me everything I needed, and you were like, "Here, take this. Make something with it." And I'm like, "Okay, sure." So yeah, we have. I made this kind of the image where it is, the map, and the video. Wait, what was actually the question?
What was important for you when you were working on Agora as a project?
Well, mostly to do the other people before me justice, because the whole team slaved over this project to make it as pretty and as nice as possible.
I think you mean slayed over the project.
So for me, it was just important to pick up what they gave me and make something with it that's that I like and they as well enjoy. So yeah, that's what I can input here.
Nice. I think for me it was most important to give you all the space, like to ensure that you all have the space to be as creative as you all are, because this team is so full of genius.
Space received.
Yes. I have a good other awe-inspiring question, but what are you most proud of in what we've done? I think we have so much to be proud of, but you personally, in your work, what made you most proud with Agora? We have a little circle going, so I'll just continue with this.
Oh boy, now you're asking me to pick my favorite child, because we've put so much stuff in this game, and
Pick
now
your favorite child.
Yeah, which one is the best? I'm happy that ultimately the game represents the idea that money is a resource, but money doesn't matter, because in the end, when you get your score, money is not a part of it. Money is just an instrument. And it might be utopical, but that's how I'd like real life to work too. So yeah, in Biscania, that's how politics work.
Yes.
Money is important, but ultimately money doesn't matter.
I love that.
Awesome. And yeah, I'm really proud of to say that the political compass works really, really well to narrow down. And thanks to Theo's amazing game designer skills, and I think this encapsulates the vision that at least I have as an educator to let people know their path. It gives the tools in their hands but doesn't show them the direction. It just says, hey, this is the path, take it. And I think it's very beautiful in a way.
Nice. It's really cool.
Again, from my perspective as like a project manager, a youth worker, it was a great achievement seeing that we created the second game, like video game, that is about has youth work included in it, and it's very successful and it's very catchy and dare I say sexy. And there's it's people and youngsters do like playing with it, and it's pretty interesting in our circle of projects and works as well. So for me, I'm proud that it worked, and we showed to other people and to national agencies and to like big organizations that gamification works for youth work, for education, and we're setting, in my opinion, like a precedent like for future projects to come. And this is actually I really would like to see where this goes in the end. So I'm proud for like one big step in another type of game, educational one, and yeah, I'm proud for everything we've done so far and all the success it will bring in the future too.
I'll be a lot shorter here. I really like the flag I made. It's a very pretty flag.
We love the flag.
I really like the colors I picked for the game. I think it looks very pretty. I actually feel bad a little bit every time I look at feedback forms that people are submitting. And a lot of the feedback is, oh, it looks so nice, oh, it looks so pretty. And while I'm very thankful that people like how it looks, there's so many hours put into thinking about the game, the structure of the game, the game design, the coding, all the work that it took to get all of these people together. Meanwhile, I'm like, pretty game.
No, but I think that's hugely important because that's the face of the game. If it's not pretty and if it's not friendly when you look at it, people are not going to engage with all the content. So I think it's extremely important that it is pretty.
Yeah, here's why I think you're underselling yourself, because we've had multiple meetings on structure, on content, on which survey goes when, on how variables go up and down. How many meetings have we had about the visuals? Very little, because you tanked all of that. You were the tank on all that work and you did it yourself. And where direction would have been placed, there was none because you needed none.
Yes.
Aww.
I need a moment like that. Really, ow, my heart.
Quick.
Thank you. That was
quick.
very
I'm gonna be even quicker. I am proud of the fact that I came in last, and now one of the first things you see in the game when you open it up is the video that I made for the intro. Proud.
That's a great video.
Sure, yeah.
What do you mean? Sure, yeah. We love it.
Yeah. And also props to Raya for the dub. I think you dubbed the video, right?
Yes.
Oh, yes.
I love
Great
being the voice. The voice of Biscania.
We can make an IMDb page.
Yes, I'm gonna start a radio show and it's gonna be called The Voice of Biscania.
Not a terrible
Actually, not
idea.
a bad idea. Yeah, that's really good.
We already have a ton of materials. Let's just.
This is like perfect marketing.
Okay, well, next on CoolCast, The Voice of Biscania. We mentioned a lot of the features. I have one final question about the game, so no pressure or anything. But what maybe feature didn't we mention that you think people should notice and you would like for it to be noticed in the game? Something that you really like, a small detail, a big detail, anything that you think was very interesting in the game, something you find cool.
Yeah, I can start actually. Yeah, I actually added some animations when buttons move when you answer the questions. So it was like, nobody will see this, but I'll do it. So I was like, playing for a few hours with the animations, and that was.
That's
proud.
so nice.
Yeah.
It's the little things that make your heart beat a little bit.
Yeah.
Even if you just do it for yourself, you're like, yes, I did it.
Exactly.
I'm pretty happy that it's a little thing, and I don't know how much is appreciated, but you can if you want to just try and get the biggest numbers you can try and do that. But usually, if you go the one of the paths in the game, you can get really high voters but really low integrity. And then your score tanks because you have low integrity. And to me, in my mind, that represented that you've reached the top of the mountain, but you've compromised yourself so much that now you're not going to get to do the stuff you want to do. You're going to do somebody else's agenda. And I think it works.
That's very true in life.
I think that's what the game represents. Yay.
Yeah.
I think it would be the political questionnaire. It was one of the first things we started working on, one of the first steps of the game as well, simultaneous to other things too.
And it took so much time.
It took so much time. But the whole process of finding the questionnaire, the perfect question, the questionnaire and compass, and then I think that would be thing I like the most.
Just now, a few days ago, I was playing with a few youngsters in Varna, the game, and one of them said that he's very interested in politics, and he looked at me in the end and he said, "How did you make the political compass? It's really interesting that it just 6 questions, it gave me the same answer that I got from the 200 question."
Boom!
And I just felt this pride in me. I was like, yes, I'm so happy for that. So...
Great job! Wow.
Take that, internet.
Those are very good calculations and great questions. Then.
Yeah.
So something that I would like people to see, something that I'm proud of. I actually poured an unnecessary amount of time into the little coat of arms and like the little logos for each party.
Yes, I love them.
I made them stupidly detailed. They're so small, you're never gonna see them really.
We should post about the coat of arms.
Yeah.
Actually, yeah.
So yeah, that's the small thing, I guess.
They're beautiful. We love them.
Maybe on the wiki people will be able to see. You can sell them as NFTs.
Oh, tell us about the wiki.
No, maybe later. But you can make money out of the coat of arms, sell them as NFTs.
No, this podcast does not endorse NFTs.
No, I'm kidding.
Nora mentioned the coat of arms, and Raya then said to do something about it, and we will. I was gonna say that it's not part of the game, but something very important that I'd like other people to notice is the absurd amount of lore and detail that Nick has put into this game.
Yes.
I am currently trying to get everything that he's written into like a more interesting visual form and just show it to the world because it needs to be seen. It's so interesting. And yes, the coat of arms will also be mentioned in one of the posts, most likely, because we do have like the all of the parties and what they did in the past and stuff like that. So each party will have like a post for themselves.
Nice.
So there you go.
Nice.
What about you, Ryan?
Yeah.
The thing that I really like in what is that if you don't have enough money, some answers get locked. I think that's such a cool feature that you can't do. It shows you that you can't do some things if you don't get enough money. And even though money doesn't get into the final score, it still matters in the game. And it's not like so, like what you said, we don't want it to be utopic. And it's not, because it still matters in the game because some choices are taken away from you if you don't have enough resources. And I think that's really valid in real life too. So that's one of the things that I really like as a detail, that you get taken, gets taken into account.
I love that feature too. I think when we discussed adding that, it was something along the lines of, hey guys, do you remember Bulgarian game books back in the day where if you have like a certain item, you can go here or you can go there.
Mm-hmm.
Love game books. Are those all of the questions that we have prepared? Because I have
Yes.
one more question that I thought of.
Please go ahead.
For people who would potentially be interested in making something similar. Like they saw our game, they played our game, and they think, you know what, I want to make a game like this, but maybe about another topic or something like that. Maybe each of us can go around and say what are some tools, like some instruments, and a little bit of knowledge that they used while working on this.
That's
on this
an
project.
awesome question. Thank you, Nora.
Thank you. Theo, would you like to start?
Oh boy, yeah, put me on the spot.
You're the start of our little circle.
So, how would somebody go about making a game like this? Well, first of all, I think this exact structure, like this exact type of game, is something that, like Nora said, it's also been done in the past on paper as well. There's these books. Either you won't find them either as game books or choose your own adventure books. Either term is popular. And like people are still like they're still getting sold at bookshops, so it's something that you can get in very easily with. There's also, I know a friend works with very specialized software to do exactly this kind of game, to make this exactly much simpler. But basically, all you have to do is think about a story in episodes, and in which ones you go through, and which ones can you skip, which ones lead into other ones, and it's honestly as simple as having a beginning and an end. And then you just start filling it along the way. and how to fill it along the way. The simplest thing you ask yourself, and this is something that also people who do TV or movies do, is you visualize what the player would want, and then you answer the question. Okay, so why can't they have it? And when you answer that enough times, you have a game.
Nice.
It's cool. What are some tools that you specifically used, like while you were working on Agora?
Well, it's very basic, but and maybe people underestimate it. You really need a good whiteboard. You need to be able to draw everything out, put everything on a single plane, look at everything, be able to zoom out. Honestly, that's the most I've worked on. Most of my work goes in a whiteboard, and then from there it's very important. Because like I said, I'm neither a coder nor an artist. It's very important to be able to convey your ideas. So a good skill to have is to be able to make everything you write easy to understand. Like that is it's probably why I got promoted last year too.
I can confirm your presentation skills are on fleek, and the PowerPoint you provided us with was amazing.
Yeah,
really helped.
At some point, that's more important than the game design skills themselves. Because you can have the best idea, but if you can't convey it, then it's dead, then it's nothing, then it doesn't exist.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, for my end, learn some about web servers if you want to make your game popular and to be played online. Actually, for everyone listening, lately I've been playing with some real-time APIs and doing some real-life interactions, so I'll be super interested if we make another game with real-time players. And maybe in the future.
Nice.
What are some tools specifically that you used? Like, for example, what's the IDE you used? Right.
I'm using Cursor AI currently. I switched in the last few months, so super cool, innovative.
Is that how you wrote like the majority of the code for Agora?
No, actually, just because it wasn't available. I didn't use it until last month, basically. Yeah. But now that it's all out there, use it. And other tools are like I used Affinity Designer. It's a pretty great tool. Another one is like Vercel, but some other web services like Supabase. Some great all-around services that can give you a pretty fast track to making something people can actually try out.
Awesome.
I think I would agree with Teo's point on a whiteboard and generally a piece of paper. Pen and paper always wins, in my opinion, in games and also in brainstorming and thinking. I think that's how we started also with Agora in its inception. It was written out in a workshop on a piece of paper. And then I took a picture of that from a distance, and we zoomed in and we saw the details, and then we put on another piece of paper. The tools you need for this is just experimenting with different kinds of games to know what, maybe template or format you could use, but don't limit it to that. And then, honestly, just pen and paper. Just go out. Like Agora there's a picture of when Agora was created, kind of. Is that I took a piece of pen and paper. We went to a place with some of the partners that are included in the project, and we pestered them with Raya to get ideas. And we're like, okay, no, this is a project. We went full on crazy mode, but we had to write it down. We had to have a piece of paper that had it, and then that became a Word document, and then it became the game and everything else. So down to the basics.
Yeah, while we're here, something very simple that Ali said, and I'm pretty mad at myself that I didn't say it, is if you know the kind of game you want to make, play some games in that genre. Just go and do it. No need to discover hot water, with the first game you're making.
I always tell new students, copy. Just go there, copy people that you admire, and at some point you'll get why they do it in that way. Yeah, and basically at some point you get a sense of taste or visual inspirations, and then you yourself develop a new way of thinking about the structure, and you can look at it in a new direction and add your input into that.
That's true for so many parts of life. Just copy things and people, and just copy people that you like, and you're gonna figure out what makes it work, and you're at some point going to figure out what makes it work for you specifically, and you're going to alter it in a way that is you at the end.
Like a reference design. Yeah.
Nora, what about you? What did you use?
Well, tools. Well, pen and paper, definitely. In the beginning, pen and paper to sketch out
We're making
some
a digital
ideas.
game, and we're like promoting pen and paper mostly as
Yeah.
a tool.
The majority of the work was done in Figma, which is a free tool. I can't sell it enough. I love Figma so much. Though I am definitely interested in trying out Affinity Designer as well. Like, I know that it's a great product. So a lot of the majority of the work was done in Figma. Also, the illustrations throughout the game are free. They're a free resource that a lot of people can use. It's from a section of FreePick that's called Story Set. And anybody can use that. All you need to do is just link it back to the site. Be like, hey, I used this pretty little thing from over here. Check it out. And that's really cool because you don't always have access. You don't always have time to draw the thing, and sometimes you don't have the skills to draw the thing. But that doesn't mean that your product doesn't deserve to be pretty and to be seen by other people. So, that's mostly what I used.
Hey, what did you use for our videos and the visuals?
Well, I needed Nora to mention it before I did because I forgot the name. But yes, the story set. Right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Story set.
This is one of the tools that I used, and it was very. Since she already had the design and the stuff, like basically she already created them. I wanted to bounce off of that and take it and create with it more. So StorySet was one of them. Canva, definitely for visuals. Such an easy tool. Nora boasts about not FreePick, sorry.
Figma.
Figma. Oh my god, Figma. I can't use this program for the life of me. So Canva is like the easiest thing I can find, and it's so simple, and you just put some things inside and it's like, okay, good, here. I'm like, okay, great. So Canva as well, and CapCut, which is just, video stuff. So a bunch of easy tools and references and taking stuff other people have made so I can create more with it. That's it.
Nice. When we put it this way, it doesn't seem so insurmountable.
Yeah.
What about you, though?
In terms of advice, I don't know about tools. We used a lot of shared space to put, instead of pen and paper, we used a lot of shared documents to have that vision put digitally, let's say. I think what I would recommend is asking people for help, asking experts. Because we did a lot of that. When we were doing the political questionnaire, one person from our consortium, from another partner, teaches political science, political science, and he's a great professor. So we reached out and we were like, please, we need your help. And he provided a lot of the initial content and the direction for the political compass to work as well as it did. We reached out to different experts in the meantime to make it easy. And like you said, you don't need to discover hot water from the start. You can ask people who've learned from that, who've done it, and get the best possible, fastest solution so you can make your idea come true.
Asking questions by itself is such a valuable resource. It's such a valuable skill.
Yes.
Just to be able to say, you know what, I actually don't know enough about this subject. I'm going to ask somebody who actually does know a lot.
Yeah. And the more you ask, the more you develop. And it's
Yeah.
amazing.
No,
And you get
general life advice.
Yeah, and you get to collaborate with awesome people. And I really appreciate that about Agora, that we managed to get a team that really collaborates together. We didn't just each one of us do their own thing separately, but we worked together. We discussed a lot of the things, like even the visuals you made mostly by yourself, but you did show them to us. You asked, you included us in the process. And I love that. In the process of the game creation, even in the process of coding, even though we really didn't thankfully interact with the code because I'm scared of it, we had those moments of interaction one with another, and I think that made the game better. I'm sure that made the game better.
It definitely made the game better.
Also, I think we all learn from each other, like, different skills too. Like, we all work kind of in like different sectors and fields, but we all learned like communication skills, like asking for help, like video editing. Like, I think I learned a lot also, like how the game gets developed, like from scratch to like a finalized product, all the steps and everything. And that was a really big like learning outcome from all of this process, and it definitely made it worth this whole endeavor.
Yeah. Well, I had one last question. If you have something in mind about what you're dreaming about in the future, what you would like to do next as a next step, or maybe 20 steps from now, but what do you dream for your future?
Easy. Another game in Biscania.
Very achievable.
Yep.
Yes, we're doing it.
Okay, yeah. And being even more educational and real time.
Nice.
I like I would like to have a multiplayer like factor in it.
Cool.
Yeah.
That
Yes.
scares me.
It also
That
then-
scares me. It's such a scary thought.
Yeah, but like for me, generally thinking about new projects, like I think like a multiplayer effect in some way. Maybe we can like not like reinvent the circle to it, but like I think that could be the next small step.
Yeah, that was.
That's why from your
yeah,
point of view.
exactly.
See?
Maybe I didn't communicate.
Yeah.
But-
I translate.
Yeah, perfect, thank you.
No, it's amazing if you do that. Yeah.
I don't think I have a specific thing in mind. I know that I want to keep going forward. I want to develop. I want to be better. I'm kind of terrified of stagnating, which is something that has been plaguing me my entire life. But developing myself and my skills is something that brings me great joy in life. So this is definitely something that I'll keep working on. And if that includes working on another Biscania game, then so be it.
Maybe Figma. I think I want.
Figma does not bite.
I think I want to be stopped. I want to stop being scared of this program. So probably just Figma.
You're gonna love Figma.
I'm scared of Figma. There's nothing in there. It's just blank. Nobody's guiding me anywhere.
Your brain guides you. Creativity guides you.
It's scary.
I don't know if like it's a popular opinion, maybe not, but like I would like to see it the same game like in more advanced form, but like in like Hearthstone kind of way
Yeah.
with cards.
Yeah.
I think it would work really well in this thing or in a next iteration of it.
Oh, I want to give you a beer to hold and let me work.
Yeah, that would be pretty cool. I think. And I think all of us would like enjoy it. Also, something that Nick this was before we even started the first game set that is. But we were thinking we always wanted to make a game where you have collectibles because I think players like collecting things like in a reasonable way, but also like cards and this kind of mini games. So there is definitely so much room to grow in this sense, and with the same topic because I do want to like focus also like the educational purpose of this. It's like really great. A really great step for youngsters to like get themselves acquainted with the whole election system and all the like small things like the videos we have. Even it's good enough that people are getting convinced.
Yes, maybe we should add a disclaimer if you've made it all the way here till the end of the podcast. But Biscania is not a real country. We made it up.
Oh no! This is our clickbait title: like, "Truth about Biscania." What's till the end?
Perfect.
I'm looking forward to more collaborations. I love having a team like this team, and I love anything we would make. I think it would be worthwhile.
I think so too. We've already made some really cool things, really kick-ass things.
So thank you everyone, and thank you for joining us and listening all this wonderful thoughts that we shared. I hope that they're all wonderful to you too. I hope that they're useful.
No, go play Biscania.
Go play Biscania.
Go play Agora.
Go
the
play
election
Agora.
game.
And always you can reach us in the Agora social media. You can reach us at the Future Now social media and let us know how much you enjoyed the game.